Today I'm watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 5, Episode 8. Episode 7 was all about Spike and his backstory. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely one of my favorite episodes of the season so far. We got to see Angel, Drusilla, Darla all together with Spike in these flashbacks in the previous episode. I love anytime they do those flashbacks. It's so cool to learn more about the characters and how they were before they became vampires, and even, their long history as vampires as they're hundreds of years old. We ended the last episode with Buffy kind of in a rough spot with finding out everything about her mom, that her mom needs to go to the hospital. So I hope Joyce is okay. I hope those tests come back clear, and Spike, in a rare moment of being nice, was like consoling her and just sitting there with her. And we found out Spike has been in love with Buffy for a very long time, probably not admitting it to himself, but definitely has some feelings for her. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
Do they test it on cats, or does the machine sort of look like a cat?
That would be cool, but definitely not.
To wait for your co-destroyers. Am I right, Giles?
I'm almost certainly not, but to be fair, I wasn't listening.
Start my day with a slaughter. Which really just goes to show how much I've grown.
I was gonna say, from demon to this, she's growing up.
This has been fruitful. Trying to look up something you never saw and don't know the name of.
Just do what I do.
The lady in red? Yeah, she's still out there somewhere.
Shiny special one. I beg of you to rip out my inadequate tongue.
Gimme.
She's like, well, if you're offering. Okay, her name's Glory. No.
Uh-huh.
And great dangers have been faced
This pump make my ankle look bony.
No.
She's definitely not materialistic. Not.
It is the epitome of ankles. To touch such an ankle would be, but I'm not touching. I'm backing away.
Oh.
Drag, is it?
Yes, drag. Your creamy coolness has honored me by...
Such alliteration. Spike, you're such a creep. Get out of there.
Looking for the girl who's gonna rip your arms off when she finds out you were in her bedroom.
Oh, yeah? Well, me too.
He's just smelling her sweater. What a creep.
Whet the appetite for a hunt.
That's the stuff Slayer Muscus.
He's such a bad liar.
Because she spent the better part of last night with me, doing just that.
I'm guessing Riley doesn't know that.
She's had the lover wickers do a de-invite on the house. Keep out specific vamps. Ever ask yourself why she's never taken my name off the guest list?
I was wondering how he just had free access this whole time.
You never did. I'm the one that knows what she needs.
Oh, yeah? That's why you're with her at hospital right now, giving her what she needs.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he has no idea what's going on.
It's funny her not calling you about that. I've known since last night.
Not helping. Good luck, Spike. Good luck. That's not gonna help. Riley already feels on the outs, and what Spike said wasn't wrong. She does have a type for sure.
Such short notice. Some people wait for days, sometimes weeks.
She has to get an operation? Oh no.
A shadow. I've got a shadow.
That's not good.
Over there. He showed it to me, but they have to do a biopsy to find out exactly what.
No. I don't like where this is going. Let's hope it's just a smudge on the screen. Oh my gosh.
The doctor says it's too early to be concerned.
Oh, Joyce, no.
I just wish we knew what we were dealing with.
And Buffy has to be so brave for her mom. Like, she can't be worried. Her mom's already worried.
You mean?
Something old. So old it predates the written word.
Oh, that's a twist.
The Dagon sphere, you said that was created to repel...
That which cannot be named.
Voldemort?
Maybe she...
Predates language itself?
That would be very, very old, yes.
Well, hey, if it means I don't have to read anymore, woo!
Xander.
Her moves, her habits, where she'll turn up next. Oh! I beg you.
Ah, it's so frustrating, because we know, but they don't know. Ah!
No problemo.
That's,
And of course she walks in at that exact moment. And yeah, now they'll have no idea how to prepare. They can't do research like they usually do.
She could be anywhere. But if she...
I love when they do that, but it's so frustrating at the same time.
Do we have the results yet?
Let's sit down over here for a minute.
Nope, that's not good.
The term is low-grade glioma. It's a brain tumor.
No.
Medical name is oligodendroglioma. It's in the left hemisphere of the cerebrum.
No.
The tumor seems to have started. It has a spread.
This is Buffy's worst nightmare. Oh no, my heart, Joyce.
Nearly 1 out of 3 patients with this condition does just fine.
That's not great odds. That's 33%.
I'm not sure.
Well, just let me know as soon as possible, and I could use some information regarding your mom's
Oh my god, my head. Oh no, Buffy.
cell phone.
I think so.
Do you think a cell phone caused this?
Maybe.
Well, the more we know,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Buffy's just stunned with all this information, obviously. She's not be a lot to process.
A break?
Well, I just mean go out, get some air. Come back later on this evening, talk to the doc then if you want.
And the insurance and paperwork and all that. Oh my god, that's gonna be a very expensive bill, I can only imagine.
Favor and drop Dawn off at school and tell her I'll meet her at the magic shop when she gets off.
Of course, whatever you need me to do.
That's nice. He's such... Oh.
Tell her we don't know anything yet.
Yeah, and Buffy instantly switches into, I've got to fix this, I'll find a spell, I'll do something. And even when Riley questions it, she's like, get on my side right now, basically. Like, I don't want to hear this negativity, which, I mean, he's probably being realistic and accurate, but...
Amulet and a Sobikian bloodstone.
Yes, I believe I did.
Are you stupid or something?
Yeah, he doesn't know what that means.
Well, I went to answer that question with a firing. Thousands of years ago. And besides, the young woman to whom I sold them would have to have enormous power.
Young woman?
Man, they're putting it together. We're figuring it out. Oh, Giles. Yep. Oh, man. And Riley's, like, just being so nice and looking after Dawn and letting Buffy figure things out.
Here.
Thanks.
Buffy's glad too.
She might not act like it, but I'm sure she appreciates the help and the support.
Every day was like the end of the world. She doesn't get all worked up like that over you.
I don't think that's as comforting as she thought it would be.
Been really good for her.
She got worked up because she loved him 100,000%.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Anya broke a bippity-boppity-boo. I think.
From what, Cinderella?
He doesn't need to hear about your clumsiness right now.
Hi, clumsiness. I mean, that is so...
They're like, Anya, shut up. We're trying to protect Buffy.
like me.
There she goes. She figured it out.
Giles sold it to her.
Yeah, no social cues of any kind.
Sobikites were reptile worshippers.
Just once I would like to run into a cult of bunny worshippers.
That would be Anya's worst nightmare.
Very much for those nightmares.
Yeah.
This time I am now.
But you...
But what? Well, I can't just sit here. I have to do something.
I'm glad they talked her out of the healing spell, because I don't think that would have helped in the way that she wanted, and I don't think this is going to go well either, but they definitely seem to pile things on. It's not just one thing that happens to Buffy, it's everything all at once. Is she a parcel tongue? Oh my. It looks so fake, but I don't care.
Attacking when I wasn't even looking.
It's not even bothering her at all. She's bashing her head in. Ooh!
I'm out of the moment. And you're not giving me anything I can use. Right. I'm not hearing shit.
Ooh!
Even if I do have to carry your performance.
Ooh, no, 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 no. Such a flair for the dramatics, this one.
Arise!
That's horrifying.
Spawn so back.
Whoa!
Shadow. Already? You know what I seek. I have given you form. Now find for me the key.
And there's like purple tongue.
The holy places.
Oh, no, 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 no. It's going after Dawn. No, 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 no. The wide shots definitely look like CGI. Which I feel like is one of the few times the show has used CGI. I know it came out in the early 2000s, but the close-ups definitely looked practical, which it looked so cool. I know it was just the head that we saw, but still, so cool.
Yeah, crazy. And going off alone, half-cocked. Instead of waiting for much-needed backup.
Xander's not mad at all.
Buffy needs something she can fight. Something she can solve. I don't know what kind of action you're looking for.
Oh my.
Do you?
It was definitely risky for him to go in by himself.
She needs me.
I feel like Riley spent most of this episode just chasing around after Buffy. Oh.
There's really nothing else you can do.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, now Buffy has to play big sister. Like, where's Dawn? Is she in school? Who's looking after her? Like, not that she needs a constant babysitter, but obviously things are a little rocky right now, and Buffy just got her butt kicked, which didn't exactly give her the confidence boost I think she was hoping for, and Riley's now drinking alone at the bar. And it's nice to see everybody just being so supportive of Dawn. I feel like Buffy also could use some support. I mean, I know she's got everybody around her and the support's there, but it's so nice that she can just call on Giles or, you know, ask Riley to do these things. So I guess Riley volunteered, but oh no. Sandy's back. Oh no, Riley. Oh no, no, no. And he lets it happen. I mean, he knew she was a vampire already, but still. Oh no. Okay. It's not where I thought that was going at all.
Can we take her home now? We'll see.
What are they gonna tell Dawn? Like, how much can they hide from her? She's gonna figure it out.
Sightings.
Tara and I did a mini patrol earlier, but the biggie snake was nowhere to be.
Oh, look, there he is. No, 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 no. And I hate these books. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, 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 no. Not the most subtle approach. I feel like they could just easily hide now. Oh, shoot. He's like, look out! I'm coming for you. I'm a slippery snake.
Please, please, Mistress, perturbed yet ultimately merciful one.
He's just throwing shoe boxes at him.
Now why isn't he back here with a beautiful message for me?
I grovel like a bug, most silky and effervescent.
Ew.
Tick, tock, drag, tick, frickin' talk!
She's not exactly patient, that's for sure. And the way he's just kind of floating reminds me of the gentleman almost, like he's just sliding all over the ground. It is terrifying. Oh! And the way its eyes like change color and oh my gosh. Yeah, I was like, that seemed too easy. After all that of conjuring it and bringing it to life, oh, just punches him. There's gooey sounds. Just beating it endlessly. Not even switching hands. Just one jab after another. Oh my god, the snake's getting her frustration. Right outside of Glory's apartment, nonetheless. He was so close.
I can't.
Not now. They need me.
Yeah, she doesn't want to start crying because it'll never stop.
Buffy?
Yeah, and it's not over yet. She's got to keep it together, which is so tough, and just shows like how brave her character is, that she's just, and that she has to be the brave one. She can't just give in to the sadness. And that Riley's shut out yet again. You know, he's been so supportive and dedicated throughout this whole situation, and Buffy's like, no, I don't want to share my feelings. So that was my first time watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 5, Episode 8. It was definitely an emotional episode. We got right into all of these health issues that Joyce has been having, which was tough to watch, but I'm glad they didn't skip like 7 episodes and then finally go back to it. It would have been agonizing to wait that long, so it was definitely a mixed feeling watching this episode. And we go right into her CAT scan. You know, most of the episode is at the hospital with Buffy waiting for her mom to come out of surgery, waiting for results and to see the prognosis and what it's going to be. I think this was a big episode for Buffy, for Riley, for, you know, Dawn, even though things happened that she had no idea were going on. Buffy, you know, kills that snake monster that we find out her name finally, the Lady in Red, Glory, that she brings to life to find out where Dawn is. Obviously, Glory has no idea who this key is, and she needed this creature to go find it and smell it out. But luckily, Buffy was able to stop it from going back and retrieving that message. So Glory still has no idea who this person is. I don't know if Buffy killing the snake is going to be a giveaway that Buffy would do that because it's someone close to her, and if Glory will figure that out, I don't know, please no spoilers, or if it's just assumed that Buffy would obviously go after any supernatural creature, and obviously this thing was like tearing it up down Main Street in Sunnydale, so obviously Buffy would go after it no matter what. So it's interesting to have this character in the background, and I definitely feel like Glory's going to be our evil villain, you know, throughout this entire season. And we hadn't seen her for a while, so I'm glad we finally know her name and a little bit about her. But from what we know, she's very old and predates language, so obviously their usual research techniques aren't going to work. I definitely felt bad for Dawn in this episode because she's so young. She's only 14, and her mom, again, and her sister are her only real family, and the fact that her mom is going through all of these things and Dawn's kind of left on the outs, and it sounds like her mom was finally going to come clean and tell her how bad things were looking towards the end of the episode. I was definitely getting teary-eyed. It was definitely an emotional episode to see these mother-daughter interactions, and, you know, Dawn being younger, she's kind of shuffled around to all these people who are now responsible for looking after her, and it's great that Buffy has that support system, but Dawn and Buffy didn't get to spend that much time together during this time. You know, Riley's looking after her, Giles is looking after her, and then Buffy finally is able to talk to her sister and kind of dodges some questions, which I understand why you'd want to protect her. And I still felt bad for Dawn that she's kind of the youngest one that this is happening to. I hope that this tumor is operable. The doctor, it was kind of hard to tell. You know, they didn't say how long she has. They said the symptoms would start showing up sooner than later, but is that months? Is that years? You know, what does that look like? And it's definitely interesting to think about Buffy's relationship with her mom over the course of these 5 seasons, from a young teenager to an older teenager. You know, as she's grown over the course of the show, I feel like she's gotten closer to her mom. Obviously, in the first few seasons when she was living at home more and in high school, I feel like they butted heads a little bit more. I definitely feel like they've gotten closer. I know Buffy has now moved back from college to be at home with everything going on with her mom. I definitely feel like Buffy and her mom were getting closer and they're fighting less, and her mom knows about her being a Slayer as well, which I feel like was a huge step for them. I definitely felt bad for Riley in this episode as well. He just tried his best. He did everything he could to be there for Buffy. She's not communicating with him. She's like, oh, I was going to call you when I knew what was going on. I'm like, you wouldn't have had that thought with Angel. You would have instantly called him, told him right away, because you wanted him to be there to support you. I feel like she was glad he was there, but she wasn't calling him. Even when he's at the bar, she's not like, where's Riley? I should call him. I should, need his support. And that could also just be Buffy's character, that she burdens this alone and doesn't want to bother people and doesn't want to bring more people into it. But again, I don't think she would have been so reserved with Angel. And maybe that's just something that she's taught herself, you know, to protect other people now. And even when Dawn said, you know, Buffy used to be up crying all the time over Angel. And I feel like Dawn was trying to say it as a compliment, like, oh, Buffy doesn't cry over you. But you could definitely read Riley's expression and him realizing, oh, she doesn't cry over me because she doesn't feel the same way about me that she felt about Angel. When you're, you know, that upset and crying over someone is because you care about them. And when they do something and it upsets you, it hurts and you get upset about it. But when it's somebody who, I feel like she definitely cares about Riley, but at times she's also very indifferent to him. So for her not to be crying and upset about him doing something or not doing something, I feel like shows a lot. And I feel like it's just another notch for Riley to be like, yep, that's another piece of proof that she doesn't feel the same way about me. Riley goes to her house, is looking for her, trying to find her, and doesn't even know that she's in the hospital. And Spike tells him, which I'm sure just pissed him off greatly, and that Spike, you know, spent the day with her before, and, you know, Riley's completely in the dark about this. And even he said that before, like, hey, if you ever feel like sharing with me, you know, please let me know. Like, he didn't tell her about Dawn, obviously, which, again, I know why you wouldn't, but just another thing he's kept on the outs from. And Riley being so supportive and looking after Dawn and, you know, trying to take her somewhere nice and gets her ice cream and is spending time with her because Buffy's off, you know, dealing with all the stuff with her mom and the snake. And still, Buffy's not really saying thank you. Dawn kind of says thank you for Buffy, which doesn't really count. And then when Riley goes to the magic shop, oh, she's not there again, and Riley has no idea where she is. I'm not saying he's being constant communication, but the fact that Riley basically spent the whole day chasing after her and trying to track her down and wasn't giving up. Even when he goes to the bar and I thought he was going to cheat on Buffy, no, he's just there to slay the vampire. And he still looked very sad. It looked like he was almost about to cry and was upset and drowning his sorrows at the bar. He still doesn't cross that line, even though I feel like he's very, very hurt in that moment. He wants so badly for Buffy to feel the same way, and he just wants to be around her all the time, and he's so in love with her, and he just can't help himself. And he goes to see her again at the hospital, and for a split second, it looks like Buffy is going to, you know, open up a little bit emotionally and start, you know, letting some feelings out and cry on his shoulder, which is what he wants to be. He wants to be that shoulder to cry on. And she again pulls back and says, like, no, like, if I start crying now, basically I won't be able to stop, which I definitely can understand why she would feel that way. But again, from Riley's perspective, he doesn't get to share that moment. He doesn't get to be there for her in that way. He's there physically, yes, but he doesn't get to be that person that she's, you know, crying on the shoulder of and consoling. And then just to have that last shot of literally Riley standing alone in the hallway as she shuts the door, you know, literally, metaphorically shutting him out, saying, nope, you are not part of this. You are on the outs. And my heart just breaks because every time it happens, you can just see Riley like sinking down a little bit lower and lower and lower and lower. And he's doing everything he can. He's being so supportive and really trying his best. And it's just, she just doesn't feel the same, which can be hard to obviously take and to process. So I don't know what Riley's next moves are. His friend from the initiative had mentioned something, you know, in a previous few episodes ago. So who knows what he's gonna do, but I don't want to spend the whole rest of this season watching Riley be a sad puppy dog because it's just gonna be so heartbreaking. And like I said, I feel like Buffy cares about him and she's glad she has somebody who's there for her. But it's also not fair to just keep using Riley that way. And even when she pulls back and says like, oh, I can't do this, I was like, is she really going to break up with him right now? Is that what's going to happen? And I thought maybe he was also going to break up with her when he comes back after the bar. And obviously the timing would have been horrible. But still, I feel like he's getting faced with a reality that he can't deny for much longer. We had that giant cobra snake thing. And it definitely looked like CGI from the distance, which I know this came out in the early 2000s. And one of the things I love about this show is that they use practical effects so frequently. And when I saw that shot, I was like, oh, that looks like CGI. Comment below and let me know. That's my guess. That's my prediction. And it did look a bit dated. Again, it didn't look horrible. I've definitely seen worse. But again, the show is over 20 years old as well, so I can't really complain. But I was so glad when we cut to the close-ups and I was like, okay, this looks real. They included some practical and it still looked amazing. Like the practical when they cut in his scales and his eyes flickering and his like purple mouth and tongue. And I would much rather see, you know, a well-produced like from here up snake basically, which is what they had for the close-ups, and then having his tail, you know, rattle around. And I'd much rather have those two pieces, put their budget and, you know, make those look really cool than to spend the money and to make a huge giant piece that's gonna have, you know, one or two wide shots where it's gonna be shown. So I'm glad they took the time to make the practicals for the close-ups, because I feel like when we got in for the close-ups, if it was CGI like I'm imagining it was, it would have probably been pretty bad. It was still super terrifying. Like it looked so creepy, and it, you know, running around over the grass and how fast it was going. And I didn't believe that Buffy had actually killed it with that chain. I was like, there's no way. This thing seems super powerful. But to see Buffy just unleash on that thing and literally just beat the crap out of it and kills it by just punching it repeatedly was terrifying. Buffy definitely had some aggression to unleash, and that snake was the perfect target. Spike was only in this episode for a few scenes when he's at Buffy's house being creepy and confronts Riley. The Scooby Gang is only in it for a few scenes as well, and I think it was a big scene for Anya, who figured out, hey, when she's going through the receipts, this is who it is, and she basically cracks the case and is like, why are you selling these two together? You should never do that. And it would have been a different scene, obviously, if she had come up, you know, if Glory had tried to buy them from Anya. And Anya just adding some comedic relief with her total lack of social cues and just being so awkward, but not knowing she's being awkward, and just everybody trying to hide things from Buffy and her just be like, well, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, I was clumsy for sure. And just not being able to sell it at all. And Tara had a great moment as well when she's like, oh, this, you know, person might be older than text. And we know Tara's a very, very powerful witch and obviously is very smart and is able to realize these things and solve these problems for the team, and proves that she's an asset to the Scooby Gang. Even though she didn't, you know, using her fist, she's able to use her brain and help them solve these problems. Obviously a big episode for Buffy as well, as they do this in the show all the time where there's 100 things happening at once. It can't just be her mom is sick. It's her mom has some issues, and then the snake's going after Dawn, so she has to worry about that. And then Riley is, you know, around, and she's trying to figure out how she feels about Riley, and it's all these things happening together. I think if there was ever an episode to prove Buffy's strength of character, it would probably be, you know, this would be in the top 10 for sure, because I know she wanted to fall apart 100 times, and we saw a little bit of that with her at the end of the last episode when Spike shows up, but she is trying to be the strong one, and the burden she must feel having to put that weight on her shoulders and being like, no, I need to be strong for Dawn. I need to be strong for my mom. I need to be, you know, out there for the Scooby Gang. Just weight after weight after weight. You know, the whole world's on her shoulders, basically, as she's trying to not only rid Sunnydale of these evil villains, but make sure her mom is okay. And does her mom have everything? Did they pick up Dawn from school? What's Dawn doing? Like, just a constant cycle. And yes, she does have a huge support group, which is amazing. And I think that's what sets her apart, you know, as a character and as a Slayer, that she has friends and Giles and Riley and all these people in her life willing to help her out. And she still doesn't seem to have 100% of her strength back. She tried to take out Glory, which obviously was a recipe for disaster, and got her butt kicked. But when she gets the bad news about her mom, you know, the audio kind of fades out, and you could just see this look on her face, like the world's kind of gone fuzzy and she's not processing this. Like, this is her worst nightmare come true, and she's trying to put on such a brave face and, you know, be stoic and be strong for everybody. And it's just so tough to watch because you want her to be able to feel how she's feeling, but I think she's right and she knows herself, and if she caves and she starts, you know, crying and getting upset, then it's just going to send everybody else into a spiral, which she shouldn't have to censor herself like that. But at the same time, I get it, and Joyce is obviously processing this at the same time because it's happening to her, and she has to look at her kid and tell her this is happening to her, which I can't even imagine how horrible that would feel. And Buffy's trying to be the adult and trying to be the strong one, and the doctor's asking her, you know, what about insurance? Does she use a cell phone? And Buffy's brain is going, you know, 100 miles a minute basically, and it's just, I don't think about these things. Like, I'll have to look into it, and it's going to be very interesting to see what the next episode is. I hope they're able to get Joyce back to where she needs to be and they can fix this, because I don't know what Buffy's gonna do, but like we saw, her character, instantly flips. Oh, I need to do a healing spell. I'll fix this. Like, she doesn't let herself go to those sad places. She instantly goes, fight or flight. She goes into fight mode, basically. She's like, I need to fix this. I need to do something. I will, take care of this. Overall, I thought it was a very, emotional episode. I was getting teared up. I really, really hope Joyce is okay. Please, no spoilers. I don't know what the fate of Buffy and Riley is going to be. This Glory lady in red is definitely still coming after Dawn, and Dawn is oblivious to who she is and that someone is after her. I'm really enjoying the season so far, so thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, or subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. He's just smelling her sweater. That's not great odds. That's 33%. Do you think a cell phone caused this? I'm glad they talked her out of the healing spell, because I don't think that would have helped in the way that she wanted. Is she a parcel tongue? Oh my. Such a flair for the dramatics, this one. He's just throwing shoe boxes at him. After all that of conjuring it and bringing it to life, oh, just punches him.